Hey Derrick, it's Ken Schroeder, a website designer for coaches over at coachingsitesthatwork.com, and I'm going to review your website and find ways to improve it. When I look at coaches' websites, I'm always thinking of the question: how can this website, engage and excite its visitors so that they see what you do is valuable and they are, excited to take the next step to contact you for coaching. Okay, so I clicked on your link from the Facebook group, and it's Life by Osmosis, SYS, which I thought would be SIS. That's a funky word that you probably worked out together to be creative and cute. Osmosis, life coaching. So lifebyosmosis.com is the address. The logo says Osmosis and it says life coaching below it. So it's kind of similar to the domain name. I like it when I click on a domain name or I go to a website and I type in the name and the logo is exactly the name that I typed in. Now, it's not always the case. Sometimes the names aren't available, and for other reasons, logos and domain names aren't exactly the same. But I would suggest that you use Life by Osmosis as the logo, and below it maybe have Life Coaching. As I arrive at your website, I like that the logo is at the top and it's obvious. I like that the menu is in an obvious location, a bit small here, but it's at the top and that's obvious. If I click to other pages, I'll click Book Online, and okay, the menu and logo stay in the same place. So that's good too. Well, what I do recommend is if you do have a logo that has a lot of design to it, you have these circles around it, and it's kind of design heavy and it's taking up space at the top. What happens when logos are big, and yours is not too bad, but a lot of coaches will make their logos a big work of art, and it'll often hog up the home page and force content down, and it'll take up a lot of attention. And ideally, when people come to your website, they find content that engages them and makes them want to read and learn and explore and find out why they should be at your website. So I like logos that are smaller and more just, they can fit your brand, but more as a reference as opposed to a centerpiece. So I'd recommend making your logo a bit smaller and your menu a bit bigger. It's on the small side there. I'd be more interested in using the menu than I am is how pretty your logo is. But it's good to have a clean, fresh logo that looks professional. So when I do land on your website, I'm on a MacBook Air and a 13-inch, and what I get as content when I land on your site is always don't open new, and then a let's chat box, which isn't in the way here. I can't see the content. So when I come to your website, I see it says live coaching, so that gives me a sense of what's here, but I don't get anything that tells me why I should be here or the value of being here, or I don't really get much out of this when I first land. And there's something called the bounce rate. People will bounce off your website if it's not trustworthy, if it's messy, if it's not for them, and every time your website's a bit more confusing or unclear, those are points against you, and that's what causes people to leave. So what I would recommend doing is getting more content to show up on your website at the top of the home page. Something that tells me at least why I should be here, why I should be here, what is this website? Yours is life coaching, so that helps, and where I should begin. Now I'm going to pull up a recent website for a client. Her name is Valena, and as you can see, her logo is not tremendous, but it has design elements, so it looks professional. It has the menu that's obviously located, and it tells us what this website is about and why I should be here. Coach Valena, and hi, I'm Coach Valena Sangatova. That's her face. and it says overcome eating disorders and feel confident about your body. So it tells me what this is, and I can get a free session and I know where to go. And there's some content here telling me, the story about why I should be here. Am I struggling with this eating disorders, etc.? If this isn't me, but it does tell me what this is about and who it's for. And when I land at your website, I get this. I'm at a loss for what's really here. It does say life coaching, so I know that that's something. And also this Let's Chat box. I'm going to say a message to you, and if I don't get you, I'm going to be upset because it's a chat box and you're going to chat. So hi, Derrick. I'm going to give you I'll give you a minute to respond. So I hope you respond, and if you don't, hey, please your message so we can contact if you are no longer on the site. So this is not a let's chat. This is not a chat box. This is more of a contact form. This is not a live person for contact support. So I wouldn't do this unless you're getting people to contact you and it's really working. You're getting leads this way. I would venture to guess not. But my instincts say that you really should have. Something like this. It's a mismatch. You don't have a customer support chat box that's there 24 hours a day. So it's not what I would expect it to be. Okay, maybe if you wrote send me a message, okay, that might be nice. Okay, so I scroll down a bit and I'm looking for why I should be at your site. How is my life going to be more meaningful or more, I'm going to be happier, or I'm going to overcome the challenges, or I'm going to live a life I really want. Now that's what life coaching brings people. But I have thought-based approach. So I'm still at a loss of why I should keep reading, but this is approach to something, maybe life coaching. Now this actually says something, feeling stuck at a crossroads in your career. Okay, now this says something. Okay, now you're speaking maybe to me, or at least to someone who you can work with. I would take this entire paragraph, or at least the first half of this, and make it big at the top, make your logo small, and get rid of that. It's cute and it goes with the door. Maybe I'm hurting your feelings a little bit because you put a lot of work into the thought into that. But you got to remember that it's about clients and what they're interested in. If you want them to be engaged in your website, Derrick was able to help me become more thoughtful. Okay, this thing's sliding, and I was trying to read this one, and it slid again. I don't like sliders. I don't like things that slide around and images that take control away from me. You're asking me to read stuff, but when I start reading it, it slid away on me. This one's staying. And when I clicked on it, I was hoping it would stay. Derrick was able to help me become a more thoughtful person, help me grow more confidence. This one stayed, but a moment ago it didn't. So that's a little tricky. I don't know what happened before, but every time you have a bit of confusion and things don't work and things slide around, and these things make it harder for people to use your website and figure out what's going on. The more confusion and chaos that a website has, the harder it is to use, the more likely people are just not going to use it. Okay, so you have some images here. I don't know what that stuff is. Those blogs, I don't know what these are. Okay, this sounds like a blog post. I would make a heading here, blog posts. My story. So I still haven't seen a picture of you, and you want me to read about my story. Who's me? Am I going to even find out who are you? Is your name officially now Life by Osmosis? Have you renamed yourself? So there's actually nobody here who's the coach. It doesn't even say Derrick, does it? It says it in the testimonials. So if you're willing to say it there, you might as well stand up and be present on your website. I go back to the other website that I created with Valena. See, here she is. She's present on her website. You can see who she is. And you can learn about her, my story. And she talks about her story. And so I would also your website. So something I'm going to do as well. But it looks like you have some good content in this smaller text. This is good stuff here. You feel like you're always adding new tasks to do this, but never crossing anything out. That is something That is interesting. That if actually if I saw that, I would maybe click on that because as a human in the modern world, we're overwhelmed. So that speaks to something um, that speaks to a challenge that people have, and it's good to lead with challenges. Um, okay, I think that's all I'm going to say for now. Derrick, I hope this has been helpful. Let me see if I can get my face up. Hey, I hope this has been helpful. I know it's a lot of work to get websites up. Sound like you did it pretty quick, and that's cool for you. Um, yeah. So again, the biggest thing is I would pull content prominently that speaks to the reasons why it should be at your website, and that's going to typically be around people's challenges and struggles, and kind of the goals and desires they want to get to. All right, Ken Schroeder, coachingsitesthatwork.com. Derrick, please post a comment and let me know what you're finding most helpful in this video. Okay, see you in the group.